Welcome back to the Shacknews Awards. We are going to be handing out a pretty special award here. It's for the best online presentation of the year, 2024. So basically, to be eligible for this, you just had to have some sort of a Nintendo Direct-like event. You know, it was either live streamed or uploaded to YouTube. But it's we're starting to see Xbox just straight up calls them Xbox Developer Direct. Sometimes they call it their game showcase. Nintendo obviously calls it the Nintendo Direct. But yeah, here are the nominees, and then we'll get to voting. The Xbox Developer Direct from January 2024. Xbox Game Showcase from June 2024. The Wholesome Direct from June 2024. The Nintendo Direct from June 2024. The EVO 2024 announcement show, where they announced Third Strike would be there. And last but not least, Shigeru Miyamoto gave us a tour of the Nintendo Museum in the Nintendo Museum Direct. Donovan.
Yeah.
You actually remembered January 18th, 2024.
I do, just like it was yesterday.
Tell us why this should be in this category.
One, I remember when this one got announced, it kind of came out of nowhere because January is usually not the most packed month for online presentations. But I think that the developer direct was it was just a good low-key kind of talk to developers showcase. I know, we all dunk on the grand world premiere presentations of the E3 summer showcases, but this was pretty much just 4 edited segments of just game designers and programmers and directors in front of computers, just talking about games and showing us new things about them. That's where we got one of our first gameplay deep dives for Avowed. We saw Indie, Senua Saga. I believe Vision of the Mon ended up being the surprise third-party appearance at the end. To my knowledge, it wasn't that long of a showcase. It didn't overstay its welcome. They kind of just came in, gave you the updates, and got out. And it was kind of a first for Microsoft doing something like that. Usually they save everything and then they just kind of explode on stage at E3, but this was more of a low-key, just informal presentation from them. I thought it was a pretty good one.
Well, there's no more E3, Donovan, so...
Yeah, yeah. That's... I'm doing that thing. I'm just not calling it Summer Game Fest, but yeah, same difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So then we got another Xbox event here, the Game Showcase in June. This was kind of the opposite, Diamond. This was a blitz of trailers.
This was your big, announcement fest.
Yeah, lots of announcements, big out opportunity. Not all of these came out. In fact, probably less than half of them came out this year. But you've just, it's always just nice to know that Xbox is working on games because they release them not very often. So it was really cool to get some, insight into Perfect Dark. I love that series. New Gears game was announced, Asif. So fingers crossed. And things like Stalker 2 got shown off as well, which obviously has just rocked our socks at the end of the year here. Fable as well, which I can't remember what gameplay they showed with that or the cinematic they showed, but
because every time they show it, it looks like a completely different game. I'm sorry, what the hell is even Fable going to be? They keep showing us these trailers for Fable. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what Fable actually is when it ships. But same thing with Perfect Dark, man. This is the first time we actually saw some Perfect Dark gameplay, but
looked good.
I guess I don't even know what
I liked how it looked.
Yeah,
I don't know what the franchise is anymore.
Oh man, James Bond, but Joanna Dark, who is awesome.
Yeah, I know that, but I don't know. The one that came out on Xbox.
Yeah,
that last.
It seems like they're kind of going back to their roots with the sci-fi and alien themes and government.
If this is a proper reboot, maybe it'll be good. But
yeah, in terms of announcements,
I think it looks interesting. It looks like what's the one you talked about, David? Dishonored. It looks like Dishonored. They're taking it stealth, tactical, kind of gadgety. Not just a shooter like it was in the 90s. They're learning.
That's what the No, that's what it was in the 64. Back on
Yeah.
the 64 in 2001, 2002. Yeah, it was.
Let's not bury the lead here. We also got footage of Doom the Dark Ages at
Yeah,
this
that's
event.
true. Yeah, we did. More Doom is good.
That
Doom.
was like that was the trailer where I was like, wait a second, there's
That
a
looks
machine
awesome.
gun that shoots ground up skulls as bullets. I'm like,
Yes.
that's the most metal ass thing I've seen in a while.
That reload animation of the Doomslayer just putting
Yeah.
skulls into the churning and just like firing out the pellets. Oh, yes, please.
But once again, like the things that I loved most about this event were just coming in 2025, and that's like, I don't know, I wasn't super jazzed about that. They also like showed off the War Within at this event, Greg. Like it was obviously them flexing their Activision muscles too, because they had a COD. I think COD Blob 6 was featured in this.
Oh, another low-key one, just looking now at like the full spread of games here, mixtape from the devs of the Artful Escape got revealed here. And I mean, watching that trailer was like just a warm hug. It was such a cool, stylish, I guess kind of nostalgia fueled trailer, but I think it looks awesome. That instantly became a game that I didn't know existed, so one
That's
that I'll
right.
be playing whatever weekend that comes out.
And we
So
also
they
got to
did-
see. Sorry, Asif.
They did a short gameplay reveal of COD, and then they followed this up with a Black
Yeah,
Ops
it was
6
like its
Direct.
own- yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we also got to see Metal Gear Solid. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but
Triangle?
that's
Yep.
yes, Solid Triangle. We that's typically like a Sony property, which it's not often that you see that on a Xbox stage, right?
Not a Sony
It's been on
problem.
Xbox. It's been on Xbox for a while. It's Konami.
Yeah, not like
Yeah,
it's not a Sony
Konami.
first party, but it's I don't recall.
It's
I think
associated with
The
PlayStation.
branding
yeah,
line,
yeah, that's probably a better way of putting it, David. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you think Metal Gear, you go, I'm gonna play it on my PS2, PS3, PS4, etc.
Mhm.
I played Twin Snakes on my GameCube.
Well, that was exclusive.
Yeah.
to GameCube.
I'm just saying, like, I played a Metal Gear Solid game that was exclusive to GameCube. Is all I'm
I
saying.
think I played Substance on Xbox, but yeah, like you say Metal Gear to me, and I'm thinking place a Sony sort
I
of
played
title.
the original Metal Gear back on the NES. Anyway,
Nice.
back in my day. Yeah, sorry. Good for Microsoft remembering that they bought all those studios.
Yeah, they did. They sure did.
And they treated all those developers so well this year. The Wholesome Direct, I think they're almost nominated every year in this category because it's like this oasis during Summer of Jeff Week. Like you finally get this break where it's like, okay, we're gonna get to see some games about making soup and some games about farming and some games about rounding up animals and helping them.
Yeah.
And all those
The
are great.
Wholesome Direct is the cozy game equivalent of what you need during a period of stressful time like E3 week, where it's like, I need to just catch my breath for a moment and just do something to relax.
Mhm.
Pop that on, have a look at all the cute games that are coming out, and yeah, enjoy.
And then we got this Nintendo Direct June 2024, right? I'm trying to remember what else was announced there.
Echoes of Wisdom was the big thing, right?
Yeah,
That was like the
here we go. Yeah, we got, I don't know if it was the reveal. It might have been the reveal of Brothership.
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
So we got the reveal of Brothership. We got news that Dragon Quest III HD 2D remake was indeed coming to Switch. It's out now, but we got news of that. And yeah, we got actual footage of Metroid Prime 4 at this Direct. And then
Yeah.
obviously, Steve, you mentioned,
Definitely.
Dom, you mentioned, I think TJ mentioned it. Echoes of Wisdom was announced at this event as well. Other than that, it was like a ton of RPG news, right? It was like Fantasian's coming, Fairy Tale's coming. Oh yeah, here's another random announcement from it. Nintendo Switch got like a basketball mini game. Remember that? Like there's
Nintendo
like
Switch Sports, yeah.
Switch
I do remember
Sports
Yeah,
that.
has
entirely.
Like, here's a basketball game for Switch Sports. And I was like, I forgot Switch Sports even existed. But,
Yeah.
whatever. There was a lot of farm games announced, more classic titles. I think we got Link's Awakening for Game Boy Color or something. We got some Switch Online announcements.
Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection was announced for a Switch during this one, and that made people go nuts.
Yep. And also, this is where the Lego Horizon game got confirmed for Nintendo Switch. Like, we knew it existed already, but we didn't know it was coming to Switch.
Yeah.
So those were kind of the highlights of this one. Obviously, like, it had been radio silence about Metroid for what, like 6 years or so.
Yeah.
They've been quite listening for a long time.
And then I do think that the Zelda announcement's probably the biggest thing from the event. But yeah, that's what happened at that direct. So I think it's definitely worth a nomination here. In my opinion, it wasn't the best Nintendo Direct of the year. We did have a good Evo. I don't know. It's funny to see Evo's 2024 announcement show sitting among these other titans of the industry. But yeah, they do a pretty good job announcing who's going to be featured, and also like commentary and stuff. Like, they've gotten better. Basically, every year that we're further away from Mr. Wizard being featured on this show, the better it gets. So, not to bring up the past, but yeah, I don't know. It was a fine Evo announcement show. Like I mentioned, Third Strike being announced was probably the hypest part of it. And then, boy, did that deliver at Evo. Third Strike was a delightful top 8 or top 6 on a Saturday night of Evo. But yeah, a worthy nomination. Danny, do you want to add anything about Evo's presentation?
I mean, yeah. I mean, obviously, you got the big surprise and everything there, but just the level of hype, it felt good for the community as a whole, and at that time especially.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't that far out of the pandemic days and such, and really getting that vibe back in was needed in a way, especially for like the big stage being what it is, and they found a way to make it feel special.
Yeah, and they announced like the change in the scheduling for Japan. They were kind of laying out the future of Evo a little bit at that show too. And then Rick obviously did more of that on the stage at Evo when they announced like Evo Europe and like some other stuff that they have planned. And then last but not least, you guys remember that Nintendo Museum Direct? Pretty sweet.
Yes. That was a good
I
one.
want to go there. It looks awesome. It's weird. It's very weird. But yeah, very Nintendo thing. Nintendo's had a weird year. The Switch is obviously old and kind of I think it's kind of fallen out of the hype. Because like we're talking about Zelda, right? If we were like year 3 of Switch, do you think Echoes of Wisdom has more hype around it?
No.
Why?
Because Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild, like, that's like the next, like, what do you do after that? Those two games, right? These are like cool games, but these remind me of the Echoes of Wisdom reminds me of those other like Toon Link games we got. Like a lot that they factory those out on the DS. You remember those games? They made a lot of them. The Toon Link ones, Phantom Tracks, Phantom Hourglass. There were like a lot of those games.
Spirit Tracks.
Yeah, Spirit Tracks. There were a lot of those games.
There's like 3.
That's
like
a lot of
3 of
Zelda
them.
games for a single system, mobile system.
I actually think part of it, at least for me, I like Echoes of Wisdom. I like parts of it. I'm a little Zelda'd out, especially after Tears of the Kingdom.
But you didn't even finish it.
I didn't
I know
finish
I haven't
Tears
finished
either.
it yet.
Yeah. So maybe this is bigger than just Echoes of Wisdom, is what I'm saying. Like there's I think there's Switch fatigue. Because there's some first party titles that I'm surprised didn't show up on more Game of the Year lists, and I think Zelda's one of those. But yeah, like sorry. different topic entirely.
Yeah.
We can get back to talking about these online presentations, but I really enjoyed the Nintendo Museum Direct. I thought it was well shot. I think Miyamoto's just charming and funny when he gets to show off these projects that he's working on. And this was definitely something he wanted to build. He said every time they hire someone at Nintendo, he has to explain to them all the history of what they did and why they do things. And this Nintendo Museum is going to kind of serve as that, so he can just send people to the museum instead of having to talk to them. There's actually something within Apple that's kind of similar. It's called like Steve Jobs University, or Apple University or something, where they literally teach you about some of the core philosophy that led Apple to success. I think this is kind of like the same thing, but for Nintendo, because Yamauchi has passed away, Iwata has passed away, so some of like the leadership culture is gone. But they can be like, this is what we used to do. This is what we're still proud of. And here's where we're going.
And it's also significant just because it shows that Nintendo still cares about its history. And they're putting that history on display for pretty much everyone who wants to check this thing out. Like, that's something Nintendo has been accused of a lot, is not caring enough about its history. And this shows that it's the opposite. They've got a lot of work to do, but this is a really cool move.
And there's like the duds. They're there too. Like Virtual Boy has a section. Wii U has a section, right? Like they're not hiding their failures in this museum, which historically they do that. Like you'll look at a financial presentation slide and they will retcon that the Wii U never even existed. Like it's just, oh yeah, we had the Wii and then something bad happened and now we have the Switch. It's like, yeah, okay guys, there's about 3 years there where you're almost dead because the Wii U and the 3DS not selling.
Apple
well.
does that too with their stuff that doesn't, they don't like either, yeah.
Apple's just I can't wait to see them act like they never shipped the $3,500 Vision Pro. Like, what are you talking about? That never happened.
There was something bad happened here, but we don't pay attention to that. And then we go to the new iWatch.
Yeah. Anyway, those are the nominees. Let's vote. What do you guys say?
Time to do it.
Okay, online present. Where the hell is it? There we go. Let's start with Greg. Greg, you have an interesting take on this as someone who produces video. Which did you like the most?
I mean, like, it's got to be Nintendo, the museum. Like, it's wholesome. It feels personal. It feels important to them, right? It doesn't feel like just a marketing tool like a lot of these presentations sometimes feel like. I mean, it is marketing, but like, I don't know.
I mean, it's literally like a museum of marketing.
It is, but like, I don't know, something about Miyamoto and how Nintendo presents information, using him, even though like English isn't his first language, you know what I mean? Like, and like putting him in front of the camera, which that is happening more now, but that wasn't a thing 20 years. You didn't put, you hire a celebrity, you'd hire a host, somebody else, not the developer, right? Like to go in front of a thing like that. And that's cool that they use him because he is a legend.
Ever since Iwata passed away though, like he's kind of taken up that role. And also when Reggie left. Like when Reggie left and Iwata passed away, like there was a vacuum in the Nintendo Direct, and he is that guy that fills that role now. And he's a Nintendo fellow now, right? He's on the board of directors, but he's not like actively developing games anymore. So he's working on these projects that are about expanding the brand, right, to an entertainment property. So he's worked on the Mario movie, he's worked on the amusement park, Super Nintendo World, and all the locations, and now this museum. I wouldn't be that surprised to hear if he was working on the Nintendo Music app too, but like he is the face of he's the face of the future of he's like the curator of the future of Nintendo.
And who better than Mario's dad? Right, that's the
right.
That's I have to do it. It just feels very wholesome. Made me want to go.
Oh, I absolutely want to go there.
Got ghosted when I asked if I could go. Can we go, please?
No. There was a lottery. It's very busy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Nintendo is crazy.
TJ, you're muted.
Are we talking about the Evo showcase?
We're talking about whatever. Which was the best online presentation for you?
Oh, well, that would have to be the Museum Direct.
Okay. Yeah, we're just talking about we're at the voting part, TJ.
Right, I know.
It's all good. Bill.
I was thinking wholesome, but I think I'm going Nintendo Museum. As much as I love the wholesome direct, I can't actually think of a reason other than it's cute. And I mean, that's been the reason for like 3 years. So I think the Nintendo Museum was the thing that really stood out to me the most.
Nice. Sam.
Museums are important, and it's great to see Nintendo taking a really big positive step to preserve its history. And so it's got to be the Nintendo Museum.
Steve, host of the Steve Tendo Show.
I was torn between the two Nintendo ones on here, but I am gonna go with the museum. That one feels right.
Nice. David.
Nintendo Museum.
Nice. Donovan.
Only the Nintendo Museum has a large Wiimote pillow, so that's my vote.
Yeah, a Wiimote essentially body pillow.
Yeah.
That is
Anyone.
wild. Yeah, I mean, I just want to go there. I would probably drop so much money at that store, but I want to go there. Denny.
As a former museum employee at one here in Chicago, I'm definitely supportive of the museum action. I was really impressed as well. So Nintendo gets my vote.
Nice. Yeah, it's a cool thing that they did. And then Ozzy, he wants to ruin your pizza party. Ozzy voted for the June Direct.
There's no pizza. There was not a sweep. There was not a sweep today. It's only when there's a sweep do you get a pizza party. You get clear to everybody.
No.
Oh, right. There is no. You're right. There is no pizza party.
Greg, I think it's important to note that you don't hand out pizza parties.
Right. There
He's
is no
like
pizza
really
party.
trying to. He's trying to, but he doesn't. Anyway, this is almost unanimous, but honestly, we're all in agreement that Nintendo's presentations are still excellent. But I think that Nintendo Directs that feature Shigeru Miyamoto are a different tier, in my opinion. It's like something cool is about to happen. Either he's going to announce that Chris Pratt's the voice of Mario, or he's going to show off he showed us the new Donkey Kong section of Super Nintendo World. Or occasionally he'll show up to talk about a video game. Very rarely. I think one of the more recent reveals he did was Pikmin 4. But then I think he also like did the Mario Run Direct. He was very behind that project.
He also came
too.
at Mario and Rabbids too.
That's right. He was at Ubisoft's press conference when they announced that. But yeah, we love it, Nintendo. You guys are great at this. Their video team, I think, is one of the best in the world. Their live stream production company, like they have that down to a science. And they were the leaders with going digital before anyone else did. But yeah, congratulations, Nintendo and Miyamoto-san. You have won the Shacknews Award for the best online presentation of the year 2024.
B ダッシュです。やりました。